Hello and welcome to my campsite on Birch Lake. Today is July 3rd, 2017. This is the night before I go into the Boundary Waters. Going in on South Cowishui River, and I'll show you on the map and everything what I'm planning on doing in just a little while. But right now I'm waiting for my water to boil so I can have some lasagna. I'm going to do a 1 serving lasagna tonight and hope that that holds me. Just on the night before going into the Boundary Waters. I got here kind of late, about 4:30ish or so. It's 6:30 now, just gone 6:30. So took me a while to get set up. Took Sam for a walk around the loop just to familiarize myself with what's where. Then I had to go back out and pump some water. Got a little bit of a walk to get to the well. So anyway, what I'm planning on doing tonight is go ahead and have my supper here, and then hopefully after I get all cleaned up and everything, I can go out for a little paddle. This time of year the sun doesn't set until pretty late. It doesn't get dark until, I don't know, I forgot to check at home before I left what sunrise and sunset times are, but we're not all that far past the equinox, so I know it's going to be pretty late before the sun sets, and I know the sun's going to be coming up awfully early in the morning, so should have time to get out on the water tonight, and we'll see how things go here. Sam's not real happy here with all the people around and the fact that it's a front country campsite. He has to stay on a leash or a rope, has to be tied up all the time. And of course he's used to, when we camp in the Boundary Waters, being able to roam free. But he's doing okay as long as he's close to me. He's fine. And of course he'll be fine in the tent tonight too. So I think I'm going to turn this water up just a little bit so it boils a little bit faster, so I can have supper a little bit faster. In a little while I'll show you the maps. So as you can see, I don't have a real extensive trip planned this time, as you'll see in a little while. Trip I'm planning on taking a week to do could really be done in a long day trip. In fact, I have a friend who did it in a day trip in the past, but that will allow me to spend some time getting pictures and video, and I'm planning on just moving every other day, so lots of layover days for some little explorers and things like that. Weather forecast is looking pretty decent. We're supposed to have highs in the upper 70s, lower 80s all week. Lows are supposed to be in the 50s, but there are supposed to be some thunder. There are some thunderstorm chances in the forecast. Most of them are at night. But we do have a chance on Wednesday into Wednesday night is probably the biggest chance. But Wednesday again is a layover day. Okay, my water is boiling, so I'll talk at you again in a minute. Okay, while I'm waiting the 10 minutes for the lasagna to be ready, I'll just take you on a quick tour of what I plan on doing. I'm entering at the South Coishui entry point number 32. There's a 140 rod portage to get down to the lake from, or the river, get down to the river from the parking lot. Now you may notice that Gabbro Lake is right over here. That's where I went October of last year. So this is the same general area that I was in on that trip, but I will not be going into Gabbro. I have been in this area a couple of times on day trips. Not all of what I'm going to be hitting. Some of it's going to be new, but a lot of it's going to be where I day tripped before and always wanted to come back and camp. So 140 rods to get into the south arm, or the South Coishui River. I'll be paddling upstream. A little 5-rod portage here to get into more of the river. And then I've got a 70-rod portage into Clear Lake up here. And Clear Lake is clear. So I'm planning on spending 2 nights at Clear Lake. The day in between, I'm thinking of going into Esquagama Lake over here and down and around and back, or probably take it the other way around, but you get the idea. I'm going to do that loop. It shouldn't take too long to do that, and so I'll have plenty of time to relax at Clear Lake, explore it. Like I said, it's a very clear lake, very neat lake. I've been to it a couple of times on day trips. Always said I wanted to go back and camp there. So with a bit of luck, I'll be able to get this island site here. Otherwise, I have 4 other choices on the lake. Okay, after 2 nights there, I'm going to take the 180 rod portage here over into the North Coishui River. Go upstream on the North Coishui River. I got 10 rod portage here, 10 rod here, a 210 up here. That'll be my longest portage of the trip, 210 rods. And then I need to switch maps right here. So here's the 210 rod portage. Go further up the river. And I'm going to plan on camping up in this area here again for 2 nights, so that'll be nights 3 and 4. Now the Coishui River does something really strange here. It's flowing this way. Lake 1 is back over here, up that direction. It comes down here and it splits. It splits into the north and it splits into the South Coishui. It joins up further downstream. So basically all this area in here is an island in the middle of the river. If I get that island campsite, I'll be camping on an island in the middle of a lake that's in the middle of an island that's in the middle of the river. Kind of neat. But anyway, plan on spending 2 nights up in this area where the river splits. Probably explore further up this way because there's a stretch of the Coishui River I've never been on. I've never been down in Confusion Lake, down in that area. So weather permitting, I plan on doing that. After my 2 nights there, I'll finally be going downstream. There's a I'll be going downstream on the South Coishui River. A 15 rod portage here, and coming on down, a little 15 rod portage there, and a 30 rod in here, and then I'll be trying to camp down in this area somewhere, which brings me back to the other. So camping down in this area. Now you'll see that that's the area that's just north of Gabbro Lake, This is basically the Isabella River coming and joining in with the Cowish here. So I'll be doing some exploring in that area. I might actually walk, or well, I might walk this 120, or I might come up in through here and back down, and that will get me to those rapids on Little Gabbro that I kept hearing and kept wanting to go see about getting back to, and never got the chance last October. Again, depends on what the weather does, what I feel like, but there's 4 campsites in this area, so hopefully I can get one of those. Really short portage here, still on the South Cowish River. This is where I branched off to go to Clear Lake, but I'm going to continue on down to the 5 Rod and on down here into the 140 back to the car. And that's going to be it's going to be some uphill to come back to the car, but I'm not seeing a lot of topo lines here, so it shouldn't be too bad. So yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing. Again, a 7-day trip. Be in 3 different campsites, 2 nights at each campsite, and so I'm not biting off a lot, and should have plenty of time for photos and video and all that good stuff. And it sounds like the weather's going to cooperate. A little bit warm for my tastes, but I'm going to try very hard not to complain about the heat, and I'm going to try very hard not to complain about the bugs. Why, he came in just on cue, didn't he? I mean, after all, it is July, so hot weather and bugs are to be expected, and I knew that coming into this. It has been pretty cool and rainy up here through the month of June. It looks like the weather finally decided to become summer again. So unfortunately, the wind is really kicking up since I got here. It was pretty calm just a little while ago, and now there's a lot of wind, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get out paddling tonight or not. We'll have to see. But the first order of business is now, I'm sure my 10 minutes is up. It is. So I'm going to eat my lasagna now, and I'll talk to you later. I should mention that I think I mentioned before that I'm on Birch Lake, but I'm at the Birch Lake Forest Service campground, which is here. I'm fairly close to the boat access, which I think you can see there. Tomorrow morning, to get to where I put in, I go back up this road that I came down this evening. I cross the South Cowish River twice, because South Cowish River comes down here, makes a turn, and goes into White Iron Lake, and finally into Farm Lake, where it joins up with the North Cowish again. So anyway, I cross the South Cowish twice, and then I come up this road here, and right up here is where I park the car, and I go into the South Cowish. So I'm not all that far away from where I need to put in the morning, or where I'm going to be putting in the morning. I did consider the South Cowish campground, but all the sites there that are reservable are electric sites. It seems to be set up a lot more for RVs there than what it is at Birch Lake. So I thought Birch Lake would be a little bit quieter and a little bit more suitable for my kind of camping. Well, the wind has died a little bit. We're kind of sheltered back here in the bay, so might as well, might have known that I couldn't stay off the water. And it's active. There's some off to the right here. You can see that there's some fresh greenery there. And right in here. Wow, that thing is big. Not a beaver lodge, it's a beaver castle. Look at this over on the shore here. Should be able to see it about now. Almost straight ahead here, just above that birch log that's half in the water. That would be their run. You see where they come down to the water, slide down that bank, where they go up in here to harvest more trees. So, okay, right in front of us now. Yeah, almost in front of us. There's a wild iris. I've also heard it called a flag iris. Ooh! Beaver splashed right next to the canoe. It got me wet. Unfortunately, I didn't have the camera pointed the right direction. Got kind of annoyed about me being right in his front yard, I guess. By his front door. Coming up on 10 o'clock. We have a almost half moon, or about half moon, shining on the water here. Otherwise it's getting a little bit on the dark side. So I think Sammy and I are going to head to the bed with visions of paddling dancing in our head. So just gotta, I don't know if it's going to show up or not. There it is. Got a boat coming into the landing. So I know you can't see anything, but you can still hear me. So we're gonna head into the tent now and call it a day. And tomorrow we head into the Valley Waters. Good night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.